All right, we got our B pillars kind of mocked in. I think we'll be okay. Kind of did some rough in on filling in pieces and stuff. On our C pillar here, I wanted to radius a little nicer. It kind of did a quick loop down, but kind of relaxing it a little bit. Helps make this not look so abrupt. You know, it kind of mimicked each other. This was really abrupt here, and so we're trying to change that a little bit. Kind of just relief cutting it as we go along here. I cut this piece all the way out. They put this tar compound in here, so I needed to get that out, scrape it out, so when you're welding on it isn't just doing this boiling, popping tar stuff. But I'm happy with the shape here. You know, you don't want it to be too abrupt or have any weird spots. This is a little curved here. We might mess with that a little bit, and then I might have to kind of cut the rain gutter to relax that here a little bit, but I'm not going to focus on that right now. What I'm trying to do right now is just get these pieces kind of set, get the roof kind of set, and then, you know, kind of get these, all the things in, work on getting our window that's still sitting out there, getting that in. Then I'll go back and make sure everything's just right. If, you know, if we need to cut something back apart, we just cut it back apart. It's not a big deal. A pillars are set, B pillars are set. That C pillar is kind of set. I might go in and weld the inside, and then I need to start on this one. And this one kind of shows what I'm talking about. Like, it was a very, you know, and just that little bit of relief in it that brings it out just makes it have a nicer look, you know. Our B pillars are angled a little bit, and that seemed to really look nice. I like it. You know, it's subtle, but it has a nice look to it. We might change that, but as for now, I think that's right. Yeah, you know, we have a lot of our inside ones here done. Just need to do the outside stuff. That's kind of where I'm stopping, you know. If we weld on the outside and then we have to recut it, then you're just, you know, rerunning the chance of messing that, warping it or whatever. So kind of working on the inside stuff more than the outside. We did have a gap here, and I wanted to get that piece kind of made, and had a little gap here. I wanted to get that piece made. Yeah, just puttering along here.
All it takes is one job, oh yeah. All it takes is one job, and everything is gonna be okay.
We got a lot of these inside welds taken care of. Got both C pillars taken care of. You can see our cut right there down on the drip rail edge. And then our reliefs there. Got some of the B pillar welded up on the inside. And starting to get ready to trim the fat off our rear window area. Got the glass out. It was, of course, a bare. I think I'm going to use the plasma cutter to just kind of trim up some of these pieces, kind of get it down to where we just have the skin and the window opening. We'll leave all this on here for now, and I need to turn it over, and there must be some screws back here. Yeah, I can feel one to get this trim off. We won't need that, but another piece that might be sellable. So here's our 51 shoebox roof going on our 52, and it looks like I can cut it here, which will get rid of all that inner brace work on that. And then this doesn't have any inner brace work under it, so I'm thinking I'm gonna be able to lay that over this. We'll have to kind of see how that goes. But I'm thinking also on this top that I can just lay it possibly over the roof and make one new cut. I'm not sure how that'll all work out. I have to get it closer. It looks like for sure I don't need this down this flat on the bottom here. So we'll buzz that off, buzz these off, and then probably cut this to, like, I don't know, maybe here or something like that. and then we'll retest fit it and see how we look. The only thing I need to get off of here is it's really dented right here. They cut out a dent and you can see that rust. It was a pool of water there. So we'll just kind of try to cut it across here and see how it lays in again. If I can cut it across here and cut it across here, we can get rid of some of this inner bracing that's not going to be needed anymore with our new edges here. All right, getting some of this trimmed up, and my hopes was that these contoured the same, but they do not. This shoebox has a lot more curve than the custom liner, but it does contour these edges pretty nice right here, which I think is what we're gonna have to, like, you can kind of see that it goes around there pretty good. So that's what we're gonna have to go with. I'm going to cut it to where we keep this area here for the chrome, but this section here, it's gonna have to be wrapped like this, because if we try to line this up with that, there's gonna be a weird dip in the piece. It's gonna, you know, it's gonna have something weird around these edges. If I was to take this part right here and move it into right here, that would mean that the window dips in here. So we're not going to be able to do that. So what it's going to have to happen is we'll put the window in right about like that, and then this is going to have to be worked in through this area, and that's just the way it's going to have to be. It isn't quite laid down yet because there's a brace that runs across the inside here that's hitting the roof under here. So what I want to do is actually on the car side, we're going to cut this off and go across here, and then we'll be able to lay it down all the way and see how it looks, and then we'll see how much of this we're going to save in here. So, you know, there was hopes that that would curve with the same, but it's just not going to. And instead of losing the back deck and stuff, we're just going to go into the trunk a little bit more. It seems like we got room here, and we'll be able to scoot this forward a little bit more as we trim. We'll get this as far forward as we can, so then we can make this transition as smooth as we can, but it's going to have to go forward some, and it's going to have to mold into that area. There's just not a real way around it.
What do I try when I know everything's just a lie? Did you really love me? Don't answer that, cause I got me free, cause now I know that I gotta get away from you. Gotta get away, 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 gotta get away from you. Now I'm sitting in my room, this wreck's making me think about you. Drop that needle, ain't gonna cry, cause everything's gonna be alright, cause now I know that I gotta get away from you. Gotta get away, 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 gotta get away from you.
We got a serious sketty scandal on our hands. Late in the day sketty scandal. It happens. So what we've got is it working pretty well, really. We're ending up with a little extra metal in this piece, and so we put those clamps on to kind of see what it wanted to do, and you can see it pooching up there in the middle on this back piece. So what I'll do is I'll start cutting this, and we'll go down as far as we have to go to get that to, you know, iron out. But that seems to be where it's going to go. We have to, like we talked about, create a little bit of this here. You can see it's hanging out. But in order for this window to be right, you can't move this stuff around too much, you know. So it's going to get interesting because this is almost to too far. It's kind of coming out here, but we're gonna see what happens here. Might be able to open it just a touch, but it's gonna be tough. But with kind of saving what we got here and not getting too crazy, I think that's gonna be us. Yeah. I mean, it's where it wants to go. You know, we could do this or that or blah 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 blah. But that's where it wants to be without doing some crazy, you know, trying to take this in further. Then you'd have to come down with your curve all the way down, and then this would get crazy. Like, there's a lot at play there, and if it kind of feels like being in a spot, you can fight it or go with it. We're gonna go with that.
All it takes is one job, oh yeah. All it takes is one job, and everything is gonna be